Good morning, and welcome to your morning cereal.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Thursday. Well, in the event you didn't know, today is the 1st of May. It's May Day, so let me be the first to welcome you to it. And in the event you didn't know what May Day was celebrating, well, it has its roots in the European festival, marking the beginning of summer and doing some dancing around the maypole. And in the U.S., May Day has come to celebrate the return of spring. But it also has its roots in celebrating and supporting laborers and the working class, and improved working conditions for them as well. So May Day has come to mean a lot of different things. Likewise, May is chock full of days to celebrate, including Anxiety Awareness Month, Mental Awareness Month, National Barbecue Month, Better Sleep Month. I can support all of those causes for sure. And today alone celebrates School Principals Day, Blessing Day, Couple Appreciation Day, National Day of Prayer, National Phone and Sick Day, and believe it or not, I've only scratched the surface of all the days I could mention right now. However, I'll finally just add today is Global Love Day. We are all in this together, which is a perfect transition to our quote of today, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of all of our human experiences. It's from iconic country singer Tim McGraw, who said, quote, "We all take different paths in life, but no matter where we go, we take a little of each other everywhere," end quote. Well, today's news, facts, and birthdays are for May 1st. And we're going to start back in 1840 when, on this day, the penny black, that was the world's first adhesive postage stamp. This stamp was issued by Great Britain. However, the stamp is not considered to be rare because there were over 68 million of them printed, and apparently 5% of them are still surviving. 1840, that's a long time ago. Well, we're going to jump up to 1931 when, on this date, the Empire State Building opened up in New York City. And at the time, it was the world's tallest building at 1,454 feet. That was until 1970 when the tallest buildings became the World Trade Centers, measuring in at 1,792 feet. However, today, the tallest building in the world today is the Burj Khalifa, which is in Dubai, and it's 2,717 feet. That's 163 floors, people. I'm not even sure I'd want to go to the top of that, let alone some of these pictures I see of people hanging off the top of it. More power to them. Well, the last fact for today is from 1939, and that was the first appearance of Batman. He appeared in the Detective comic book number 27. Well, happy birthday to you. If today is your birthday, you share a birthday with just country singer Tim McGraw. He's 58 today. And the number one song on this date back in 1988 was Wishing Well by Terrence Trent D'Arby. Now, Terrence was up for the Best New Artist Grammy, but he ended up losing to Jody Watley at the 30th Annual Grammy Awards. And even though Terrence has since released upwards of 12 albums, Wishing Well was his only number one hit. And at the time, the song held the record for the longest chart climb to number one, after being on the charts for 17 weeks before it reached number one. Well, get this, the current record is held by Glass Animals, the song Heat Wave, which took 59 weeks to reach the number one spot. Well, good news is you don't have to wait at all for today's book review. We're doing it right now. We're reading Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and we're in Covey's second chapter, The 7 Habits, an overview. And this is where Covey is discussing how important and influential habits are in our lives, with habits being defined as the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. Right? We all know this. They're growing from dependence to independence to interdependence. And these habits can be highly effective when properly implemented in our lives and properly balanced, as we learned a lot about yesterday. Well, speaking of yesterday, we began Covey's subchapter, 3 Kinds of Assets. And we learned a little about the 3 assets Covey speaks to, being physical, financial, and human. And recall, Covey tells us that we must maintain these assets to keep them in proper working order and at their highest effectiveness. So yesterday we ended on the human asset, which Covey says is the most important, quote, because people control physical and financial assets, end quote. So Covey gives a couple examples regarding of how the P/PC balance, or the golden eggs and the goose, fit into our lives. For example, in a marriage, if two people are more concerned about the benefits in a relationship, the production, right, the golden eggs, more so than preserving what built that marriage and that bond, then Covey says, quote, they often become insensitive and inconsiderate, neglecting the little kindnesses and courtesies that are so important to a deep relationship, end quote. And when this happens, Covey believes you'll often see them try to manipulate and control each other, focusing on their own needs, justifying their positions, and looking for wrongness in the other person. Quote, the love, the richness, the softness, and the spontaneity begin to deteriorate. The goose gets sicker day by day, end quote. And in another example, Covey turns to the relationship between an adult and our children. Children are very vulnerable and they're very dependent on us from a young age, and an adult could easily take advantage of this if they are not careful to put the work into the production capability. The goose, working on communicating with your children, relating to your children, and listening to them. Parenting can go wrong if you have the golden egg mentality, right? You're getting only the results you want. This would be more of an authoritarian parenting style, having things your way all the time, trying to get the results that you want. Or if you're more of a permissive parenting style, where you just want to be liked by your child, those are the golden eggs also. And all that can happen while neglecting the goose, which is building that trusting relationship with the child. Covey gives us a great real-world example of this that makes this much more clear. So let's say you want your kiddo to have a clean room, okay? To have a clean room. A clean room would be the P, right? The production, the result. That's the golden egg. But secondarily, say you want your kid to be the one to clean the room, right? Your kid is the PC, the production capability. They're the goose. They're the asset that produces the golden egg, which would be cleaning the room. Covey says if you have production and production capability balance, your kiddo will clean the room cheerfully, quote, without being reminded, because she is committed and has the discipline to stay with the commitment, end quote. Here, Covey gets a little robotic, saying your kid is a valuable asset at this point because she is a goose that can produce a golden egg. However, on the other hand, if our only goal is getting the golden egg of a clean room, quote, you might find yourself nagging her to do it. You might even escalate your efforts to threatening or yelling. And in your desire to get the golden egg, you undermine the health and the welfare of the goose, end quote. Covey's point, we must maintain and invest in our assets, whether they be physical, financial, or human assets. Those are the gooses that produce the golden eggs. We must take note to always keep balance between the production, the result, the golden eggs, and the production capability, the assets, the goose. All right, well, tomorrow, the second to last subchapter of chapter 2 and part 1, which is entitled Organizational PC, which is organizational production capability. Okay, deep breath. May is here, people. Let's make it a great one. I could have turned that into a dad joke saying, make it a good one, but I didn't. I'm above that. So thanks for joining us today. Come back tomorrow and have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Serial podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.